So I'm going to count on some laughter here and some audience participation. I'm Charlotte the Web Spinner, and I'm here to tell a tale of courage and of friendship and laughter without fail. Tales from around the world and near at hand. So help me tell my stories and they will be just grand. I do programs for Shepherd Center here, so this feels a very comfortable place. Those of you who have finished eating and can turn around, I need your help on this first story. Now, when I first got into storytelling and I went out to schools, and a little child came up to me and said, "What's your name?" And I said, "Charlotte Hamlin." And he said, "No, what is your story name?" And with a name like Charlotte, you know what came to my mind. Spiders' webs, because spiders spin webs and storytellers spin tales. So this first one I'm going to tell you comes from the Cherokee people, an ancient story that needs your help. I'm going to tell it with motions, some of them American Sign Language, but I can't guarantee they're all perfect. Some of them are just drama. And after I tell the story, I'm going to ask you to see if you can tell the story with me using just motions. And this is a story sort of about volunteers. And it goes this way. Long, long ago, when the earth was new, the animals were cold, they were hungry, they were sad, for there was no light. There was only darkness, darkness, darkness. Now, Owl was very wise and looked up in the sky and saw lightning. And he decided to call all the animals together in a circle. He pointed up to the lightning and said, "Who will go? Who will go? Who will go and bring the light?" He looked all around and Possum stood up. "I will go. I can climb. I have a long fluffy tail. I will go and bring the light." "Hooray for Possum," said all the animals. And Possum began to climb and climb and climb, and when he reached up there, he broke off the lightning and it was hot. And he wrapped it up in his long fluffy tail, but whoo, whoo, whoo. There was darkness, darkness, darkness. The animals were cold, they were hungry, they were sad. Owl pointed up and said, "Who will go? Who will go? Who will go and bring the light?" Now you can do this, folks. This is the audience participation part. Who will go? Who will go? Who will go and bring the light? On the other side, Buzzard came up. "I can go. I have big wings. I can fly to the corner of the sky. I will go and bring the light." "Hooray for Buzzard," said the animals. And he began to fly, fly truly to the corner of the sky, broke off a piece of lightning, and it was hot. And he put it in the thick feathers on top of his head. But when he began to fly down, there was darkness, darkness, darkness. The animals were in their circle. They were cold. They were hungry. They were sad. Owl looked up and once more said, "Who will go? Who will go? Who will go and bring the light?" Looking for volunteers, we do it all the time. Way in the back of the circle, a little voice said, "I will go. I will go and bring the light." "Who is that?" "It is I, Grandmother Spider. I will go and bring the light." "No, no, no," they said. "You're too little. You're too old. You'll forget where we are. I think I can do it, said Grandmother Spider. Well, hooray for Grandmother Spider. Now, Grandmother Spider was little, and she was old but wise. And she had watched all the animals. And before she began to spin her web, she reached down and pulled up a lump of wet clay. And she spun her web up to the corner of the sky. She broke off the lightning and put it in that clay, and it became the first pot the earth had ever known. And when she reached the bottom, she flung it out, and there was light. The Cherokee story of how Grandmother Spider brought the light. Well, we're not finished yet, remember? Okay. You got your part here. I'll see if I can remember my part. No words. And that is why, to this very day, possums have no hair on their tails. Buzzards have no feathers on the top of their head. And the morning sun rays are like a spider's web. The story of Grandmother Spider who brought the light. Give yourselves a hand! I saw folks way back there working with me. That is great. Now this next story has a message for us of a different kind. It comes to us from Haiti, and it goes like this. There once was a woman who raised bees, and in a good season, she had enough extra honey that she could take it into the market in the village and trade it and get a little bit of money, and she needed that. This one season, she had an abundance of honey. So she filled a pot with it and began to walk down the path through the forest to head to the town when she tripped and fell and the pot cracked and honey oozed all down the rock. "Oh, misery!" she cried. "Misery, misery!" as she saw her meager profits oozing down. "Papa God, why did you bring me such misery?" And off she went back to her home with a sad heart. Now it so happened up in a tree, a little monkey was watching this, and he had no idea what honey was. He climbed down and decided to taste that misery that the woman spoke of, and it was good. He licked until there was no more honey on the rock. And he thought to himself, now where did she say that misery came from? She said, Papa God. I know where Papa God lives, on top of the great mountain. I'm gonna go and ask Papa God to give me some misery. Misery, misery, that's what I want, misery. And humming, off little monkey went, climbing out of the trees, high, high up on the mountain. And there at the top, waiting for him, was Papa God. Now the creatures of Papa God came to see him from time to time, but little monkey had never been before. Good afternoon, little monkey, said Papa God. Oh, hello, sir. Hello, thank you. I've come to ask for a favor, please. And what would that be? Said Papa God. I'll see if I can help. Well, you see, sir, I'd like to have some misery. Misery, misery, that's what I want, misery. Papa God looked very puzzled. People had asked him for many, many things, but no one had ever asked for misery before. Are you sure that's what you want? Oh, yes, sir, I love misery, misery, misery. That's what I want, misery. Well, if you're sure, said Papa God. You see that bag over there? And the little monkey looked, and there was a big leather sack tied with a rope, and it was wiggling. Yes, sir. Well, if you drag that bag down the mountain, out through the forest into the desert where nothing grows, you open that bag, you will have all the misery a little monkey could ever want. Oh, thank you so much. Little monkey dragged that bag, and it was heavy, all the way down the mountain, through the forest, out into the desert where nothing green lived. Misery, misery. He untied that rope, and out jumped a big black snarling dog with long teeth, and another one, and another one. Ah! Little monkey looked up, and there just in front of him was a large tree. And he climbed as fast as he could to the top, his heart pounding as though dogs went round and round. After a while they got bored, and they went off and left little monkey on the top of the tree until he got the courage to come down and go home. The question I have for you is, where did that tree come from in the middle of the desert? Papa God put it there, for Papa God never gives his creatures more misery than they can handle, but be careful what you wish for. The story of Little Monkey and Papa God.